SKSE, the Skyrim Script Extender, is a modder's resource that expands the scripting capabilities of the original 32-bit The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. It allows mod authors to go beyond the limitations of the Skyrim Creation Kit, which in turn allows us access to more expansive mods. Just to name a few things that SKSE makes possible: key press detection, new user interface elements, scaling of physical attributes, gamepad mod support, and more. SKSE only supports the most recent version of Skyrim, 1.9.32. Outdated or stolen copies are not guaranteed to work properly, if at all. For SKSE to work, Skyrim must first be launched from one of its executable .exe files to establish its system registries and file paths. 7-zip or WinRAR will be required to unpack the downloaded archive's contents. Navigate to skse.silverlock.org. Locate the current stable build. At the time of this upload, current version is 1.7.3. Select the 7-zip archive link. For easy access, save the SKSE archive to your desktop. You can delete the archive after it's installed if you choose. Right-click the SKSE archive. Select Extract Here to unpack its contents. A single SKSE folder will be extracted. Open the SKSE folder, read the text files in the main folder if desired, and/or delete them as they are not needed. Those files are the SKSE docs.txt, the SKSE papyrusdocs.txt, the SKSE readme, and the SKSE what's new txt. If you are not a programmer and are adding SKSE to your game as a mod, as the majority of us are doing, you can delete the SRC folder as well. However, keeping it will not cause you any issues, and it could be useful in the unforeseen future. Highlight the remaining files and copy them: the SKSE 1932.dll, the SKSE loader executable, the SKSE steamloader.dll, and optionally the SRC folder. And if you are not a mod organizer user, be sure to also copy the data folder. In the second window, navigate to the Skyrim game folder: Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Skyrim. Paste the files and folders into the Skyrim folder. For non-mod organizer users, the installation process for SKSE is complete. MO users should install the SKSE scripts to mod organizer itself as a mod. While you could simply follow the aforementioned instructions, there are more than a few reasons as to why you shouldn't. The obvious reason is to keep the data folder unmodded. However, probably the most significant reason is that you could install a mod to MO that overwrites an SKSE script without realizing it and render the script extender useless. While rare, this has happened to MO users due to how Mod Organizer handles mod priority. Navigate to the Mod Organizer folder. If following our guides, it will be located in the Skyrim game folder. Within the Mod Organizer folder, open the Mods folder. Within the Mods folder, right-click and create New Folder. Name the folder SKSE Scripts. Open SKSE Scripts. Back in the original SKSE folder, open the Data folder. Copy the Scripts folder. Paste the scripts into the new SKSE Scripts folder. Delete the SKSE folder that is on your desktop. Open Mod Organizer. Scroll to the bottom of the left pane. Select and drag the SKSE Scripts mod to the very top of your asset load order so that it has a priority of 0. Activate the checkbox. Manual users. Navigate to Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Skyrim. Right-click the SKSE loader.exe. Send a shortcut to your desktop. From now on, you will launch the game via this executable. To launch Skyrim through SKSE, you simply have to run it from whatever third-party application option is provided to you. If SKSE is not automatically detected, and it should be, navigate to Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Skyrim, and launch the game via the SKSE loader.exe. Doing this will establish the necessary file paths and allow your mod managers to detect it. Various mod manager tutorials can be found in the description for those who need additional help. Launch Skyrim through SKSE. When you have made it to the game's main menu, use the tilde key to open the console. Type get SKSE version. Push enter. If a version is returned, then you have properly installed SKSE. If an error is returned, you need to double check the installation steps. While optional, these settings should be beneficial to most users. Like the game itself, SKSE has its own ini file. We just have to create it to be able to manipulate it. Different reports from different people have been given regarding the increase of the value suggested within. Some say that increasing the values give them CTD and infinite loading screens. Others say increasing them has helped to make their game even more stable than the suggested values. However, the settings given within this section have been shown to improve everyone's game without exception. The Skyrim memory patch, created by Shesin, expands Skyrim's memory block allocation and reserves to prevent and, in most cases, stop memory-related CTD and infinite loading screens. The two memory blocks that Skyrim utilizes are the default heap memory, which by default is 256 megabytes, and the scrap heap memory, which by default is also 256 megabytes. This memory system was designed to give the player 512 megabytes of on-screen memory. It does this by maxing out the default heap memory, then creating the scrap heap block as a backup. Once the scrap heap block is at its maximum capacity, Skyrim will crash or freeze. However, being that Skyrim's scrap heap allocation is unstable, filling up the default heap block will simply crash or freeze Skyrim without ever being able to utilize any of the scrap heap memory. To avoid the unstable scrap heap memory block, but still be able to utilize the intended 512 megabytes, Shesin created the Skyrim memory patch to assign an additional amount of memory to the default heap block right from the game's startup using the Skyrim script extender. All that we have to do to utilize this built-in memory patch is establish the proper SKSE ini file settings. The mod Crash Fixes provides very similar functions as the memory patch, as well as a lot more. If you do use that mod, you can skip this memory patch altogether. Open Mod Organizer. Right-click the SKSE Scripts mod in the left pane, select Open in Explorer. Navigate to Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Skyrim. Open the data folder. At this location, if a SKSE folder does not exist, right-click in the blank space and create a new folder. Name it SKSE. In the SKSE folder, right-click and create a new text document. Rename the document, being sure to delete the file extension .txt. Name the file skse.ini. If a window opens warning you about the file extension, select Yes. In the skse.ini file, add the following. Create the section Memory in brackets. Then just beneath it, add the setting default heap initial alloc MB equals the value of 768. Beneath that, add the setting scrap heap size MB equals the value of 256. The default heap initial alloc setting is actually a combination of both the scrap heap memory and the default heap memory size. With scrap heap size MB set to 256 and default heap initial alloc set to 768, you are actually receiving the game's originally intended 512 megabytes of on-screen memory. The equation is default heap initial alloc MB minus scrap heap size MB, which equals the total available on-screen memory. As with the memory patch, the settings that follow are also optional. Create the section Debug in brackets. Directly beneath, create the setting Write minidumps equals the value of 1. Write minidumps 1 will allow SKSE to write a minidump to My Documents, My Games, Skyrim, SKSE, and into the minidumps folder in the event of CTD. However, these are not easily read and generally need additional software and/or someone who worked on SKSE itself to decipher them. In brackets, create the section Display. Beneath it, enter the setting tint texture resolution equals. You can then choose from 4 different values. 256, which is the lowest resolution, as well as the vanilla game value, 512, 1024, or 2048. This setting determines the resolution of Warpaint and other tint textures. In brackets, create the section General. Beneath it, enter the setting Clear Invalid Registrations equals, set to a value of 1. This will allow SKSE to remove broken registrations on startup. This will help with game bloating as well as save file corruption prevention. Still within the General section, create the setting Enable Diagnostics equals the value of 1. This allows the creation of diagnostic messages that will help to detect the cause of common crashes and issues. If a missing master file is causing CTD on startup, it will tell you which file is missing by listing it in the Removed Content dialog pop-up when loading a save. When you are done making your changes or adding settings, don't forget to save the ini file. If you want to use SKSE with the CK to create mods, non-Mod Organizer users will be able to do this right out of the box. However, Mod Organizer users, because MO is a 32-bit program, it doesn't properly execute the 64-bit Papyrus script compiler. To get the compiler to work with MO, you need to run it in 32-bit mode. While there is a manual way of performing this task, the easiest way is to download and install the Papyrus compiler patch for x64 systems. Navigate to the Papyrus compiler patch page. Open the Files tab. Download the main file, and a single executable will download. Double-click the executable to launch it. If you receive a user account control warning, select Yes. When the Papyrus compiler patch window opens, select Start. If the patch cannot detect the Papyrus compiler.exe, be sure that you actually have the Skyrim creation kit installed. If the creation kit is installed, select the ellipsis to the right of the target file field and navigate to Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Skyrim, Papyrus compiler. Double-click the Papyrus compiler.exe. Select Start. Now, read the pop-up message confirming that the process succeeded. Select OK. You can now launch the creation kit through Mod Organizer as normal and create SKSE-based mods. This has been a GamerPoets tutorial, SKSE, Skyrim Script Extender. For those who felt that this video was too fast, a text version of the tutorial can be found on nexusmods.com. It is linked in the video description and will be created as time allows. I'd like to give a big thank you to all of you who have been hanging out with me in these stream sessions while I've been creating these tutorials over the last few weeks. You have definitely been helping me enjoy the process a lot more than I used to. A big thank you to the Step Wiki, of course, for all of their information. A big thank you to the SKSE team for creating SKSE, and a big thank you to all of you here watching the video now. As always, I am Michael of GamerPoets. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching.